What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'ma spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10. I can put the ball in the end zone, put a bad bitch in the friend zone. This shit sound like an intro jet song. Give me that tempo. Told Pooh he a fool with the shit. Told her don't let her.
What's good? We're here with a new podcast. Stay tuned.
Right, so just press record, and this is the first podcast that we're going to do about the NFL. I've been wanting to do one for a while with these two dickheads, which they probably haven't known about up until about an hour ago, to be fair. But nah, I think we'll do a quick introduction. Obviously, we wanted to do a proper podcast, but with what's going on in the world at the moment, we can't do it. So we're doing it via Zoom. So apologies for the quality, but hopefully our lack of personality makes up for it. I'll start with Beaves. Introduce yourself, brother.
Well, my name's Chris, but I'm known as a Beaver. I'm a Patriots fan. Have been for a long, long time. It's sad days at the minute watching Brady leave and us trade Gronk. It's put a toll on me. I was lucky enough. I got to watch them both play a few years back when I went to Boston and watched them play. It was possibly the coldest experience of my life. But oh my God, being there and just being part of it, like being in the atmosphere, like people were celebrating because I was English. They absolutely loved it because I could talk football, and like just being around the people of Boston and feeling the same way like seeing how the culture is in the game, sort of thing, was something out. Like I can't even describe it. It just makes me happy thinking about it.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah.
That's one of the main reasons I think we've all decided to do it, isn't it? Because like we all love the culture, but you don't get enough of. We've all tried to do things over here, but you don't get enough of it over here. Like you said, like the fact that people over there love the fact that you can talk about football because you're from England is a big reason as to why we've actually started this podcast.
Honestly, when I was in Boston and I walked through towards the stadium, and we walk through the car park and everyone's dropping down the back of their thing. And I'm talking like it's minus 15 degrees outside. There's 26 mile an hour wind.
I was in New York at the time. 26
mile an hour winds. It is freezing cold. And there's people barbecuing and drinking beer. And like, I mean, I bought a bottle of beer when I was in the stadium, and I started to drink the bottle. I drank the neck, and I was cheering and obviously watching the game sort of thing. By the time I'd gone to take another drink, it was more like a slushy than a beer. Like it was just that cold. And two Packers fans ended up sat in front of us wearing Rodgers jerseys. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like it. Like in this country, if somebody did that, somebody sat in a different football shirt, there'd be fighting going on. Yeah. But all we did was just heckle them, and we just kept going on about, you come to see a real 12 play, and they loved it, but they did leave it after a quarter because they were getting it. But it was a lot of fun, and to be fair, I can't wait to go back. Yeah. Just a shame there's no more TB12, no more Gronk. But we've got to move on, and that's a bit about me.
Yeah, I mean, like how me and Liam can both actually vouch that although we still will class you as a glory hunter, you have supported them for a long time, to be fair. So how long have you actually supported them now?
So I reckon it's about 12 to 13 years, something like that. Yeah. Obviously, it was probably my first season I started watching was probably 2006. Then obviously they went unbeaten in 2007 up until the Super Bowl. Don't want to talk about it. Miles Jones, when you see this, I don't want your shit comments about New York. Don't want to hear it. I know what the Giants did to us. I know what Eli did. And when he broke off that sack, I'm still not sure it's right. But and then 2008, obviously Brady got injured and we went 11-4 with Matt Castle, which is probably why he gets the stigma of being a system quarterback. Like because to be fair, we went 11-4, and it's a difficult one. But I don't know. Like for me, it's just I love it. I can't talk about it. I'm a Celtics fan as well, so Boston's part. I feel like I'm a part of Boston, and being when I was there, I was just it's amazing.
Yeah, good man, good man. Liam, over to yourself, brother.
I'm a Panthers fan, Carolina.
Yeah. Boo. Boo.
I have been a fan. I think I brought my first jersey roughly in 2004. So what's that? 16 years. but properly started getting into it around about 2014. Following season, we were in the Super Bowl, which we got destroyed by Von, as everyone knows, and been back since.
Was that when Cam dropped?
Huh?
Was that when Cam's dropped in the press conference?
Yeah. Say what you want about the man. I love him. Don't care.
No,
Someone's got to.
I love Cam Newton.
I love his fashion sense.
Yep. It's out there, isn't it? It's out there. But no, I was fortunate enough to watch them for the first time last season in London.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
We can talk about in great detail if you want. It was against the Bucs. Came in, Billy Big Bollocks.
Damn.
They got rolled over.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I'm not even sure you can class it as rolling over. What happened there?
Honestly, it was a
we
brilliant
will talk
day.
about famous.
Yeah, it was a brilliant day, but it was heartbreaking.
Just decided to give us the game, but yeah.
Yeah,
we
sorry,
will
mate.
talk about
Carry on.
Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah, I love him. I love James Winston now. But no, it's we're definitely going through a difficult phase now. It's definitely a rebuilding phase under Matt Rule. It's difficult going from having all these players, and then all of a sudden you're losing Greg Olsen, you're losing Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis last year. We've traded our number one cornerback, Bradbury. He's gone.
And sorry to he had an unreal year against Mike Evans. To be fair, last year, didn't he?
He's from what I've seen, his stats against all the top receivers in the division were on up there with everybody else in the league. So
apart from Gillett,
he finally came into his own last season, and we decided to trade him off. But that's why I'm looking forward to the draft tomorrow, because there's so many areas, so many different avenues we can go into now. So many needs we have. We brought in a couple of players. I'm intrigued to see how Robbie Anderson will do. Arguably one of the best at going up in the air, not much at anything else in my opinion. That's all he offers is going up. That's it. But we got CMC still, long-term contract, highest paid running back. Rightfully so.
I won't dispute that. I don't know. Beeves probably won't either, to be fair.
To be honest, for me, the running backs in the league, you both know that I'm a big Le'Veon Bell fan.
Yeah.
What his work that he did in the Steelers. And last year at the Jets, it's difficult. The Jets O-line is trash. Sam Darnold had mono. When Sam Darnold went down with that illness, they were in a period where you thought they might look like they're going to start to get together, because they pushed the Bills that opening day, and it was just with the illness and stuff like that. And then they had a tough run of games where they just got beat, and it's tough. But Le'Veon Bell, I'm a big Zeke fan. I don't like the Cowboys much because they're the Cowboys. You know what I mean? But you have to take running backs for what they're worth. And last year
they got an expiration date, haven't they?
Yeah, but the truth is, mate, last year Christian McCaffrey was the best running back in the game.
Without doubt.
Without doubt, yeah. It was not just last year, but the year before that, he was brilliant. But then last year, obviously we had the best run defense. I think we ended up with the best run defense, and it was that one game in Tottenham in London. Yeah, he did not much at all, but the two or three things he did were unbelievable. Just you give him one bit of space and it's game over.
It's the lack of weapons as well that Carolina were working with, obviously with Cam's injury.
Definitely.
Olsen being out for nearly the whole season as well.
Yeah, Olsen's a weird one. He had that really good season when he went to the Super Bowl, and then he was good after that. And then he three
straight years he had where he was there. 1,000 yards receiving, which is the first time ever for a tight end at that particular time.
He had such a good relationship with Cam as well that it worked.
Yeah,
it worked in that way. But I think with the transitional stuff, if you look at what Matt Rule did with Baylor, he's got previous. And I mean, Baylor, they had the big scandal and everything like that, and he blew them apart. And then they're coming back now, and Matt Rule looks like he wants to build for anything. And releasing Cam Newton and losing Luke Kuechly and stuff like that, he's going to now he's going to build around Christian McCaffrey. Robbie Anderson, he can blow the top off of defense. It can happen. I mean, your quarterback situation, I'm interested to see whether he tries to address that in the draft.
Yeah, me too. Really interested.
I reckon he'll ride with Teddy Bridgewater for at least this year. I've just got a feeling there. If they don't, my personal choice would be Tua. I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But if not, I would do everything I can to try to get Trevor Lawrence next year, without doubt.
The thing with Teddy is that, like, it's not that he got a bad deal. I suppose it was a bad deal because he got that horrendous injury and he missed so much time. And then last year when he was playing for the Saints, he looked like a gun. But the difference is that Saints side, they've got one of the top O lines. They've got one of the top O lines in the game. Their defense was unbelievable last year. But I mean, they fell apart like towards the end, and to lose to the Vikings at home in the playoffs against Kirk Cousins, who gets a lot of stick. I mean, I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. I always have been. Whether he should have got the contract where he was all what that he got, it's a different story. But it's a difficult thing because obviously you have to restart as a team, don't you? And like you've now got Teddy Bridgewater, and Teddy Bridgewater can run the ball. He can move. He's mobile. He's a good thrower of the ball. I mean, he's got small. The knocks on him coming out of the draft, and I remember this were that he's got small hands, and that he throws from a really low trajectory. Like if you watch him throw, it's like quite a bent arm. It's quite like a slingy throw. Mm-hmm. So he does get a lot of balls batted down, but I think he's got the potential to help get them into a better situation.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll help carry for the interim period until we get in that long-term franchise quarterback, without doubt. And like I said, I've just said my two choices. If we had the option to get Tua this year, I'll do it. If not, regardless of his injury history as well, by the way. I know he's got his own injuries, but regardless of that, I would still have him personally over Burrows. But if not, then I'll do everything I can to get Lawrence next year. He's a local lad as well. He's been playing in obviously Clemson for the last few years, so that would be my personal choices. But who knows? Teddy's signed a 3-year, so whether he would play this year, play next year with someone sat underneath him to then take over him in the 3rd year, who knows? Who knows?
So go on, Carl, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Carl. I'm the definitely not the brains of the podcast, but obviously come up with the idea that we all wanted to do this. These two are definitely the brains of the sport itself. I actually can't believe I'm having to do this, but I'm going to have to actually justify why I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I have in the sense that people are going to think I've jumped on the bandwagon, but you can both vouch that I've supported this shit team for the last fucking...
Did you? I didn't know. Well, it's only in the last couple of weeks you were a Tampa fan.
I mean, I thought it was the Gronk deal that tipped it for you, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I agree.
But, mate, I've seen you struggle through the James phase. I've seen you try and stick with him as well. That's what my problem was. You tried to stick with him.
Yeah, I agree. When it first came about, I think was when I first went on holiday to Florida with my mum, my dad and my brother. And I think that was, probably similar time to when Liam said about 2006. Now, obviously, I didn't support them then, but I remember seeing the stadium, and I'd always wanted to get into American football because, as we all do, we all love the American culture. It's fucking fantastic. And going over at the age of like 15, 16, just fell in love with the place. And then obviously, so you were seeing there, and that piqued my interest straight away. And I'd spoke to you both because you were obviously into it before me. I think I started getting into it properly about the year after you did, Liam, because again, I was trying to, but I just couldn't get on board with how everything worked. And then you both told me to stick at it. And
I'm still learning.
Absolutely. But it was Charles' nan and granddad when they've got a timeshare over in Florida as well. So again, everything when I talk about America, it's always Florida for me, as it is, as Boston is with you, Beavs, and Liam, you love Florida as well.
Massive.
They got a timeshare, go over every year, and they come back and bought me. They said, "Do you want anything?" I said, "Just get me an NFL jersey." And lo and behold, they actually come back with a Tampa one. So, and it was actually a fucking Joshua Freeman jersey. So I'm going to say that's how long I've been a fan. But no, I started supporting them properly the year after, or the year they drafted Mike Evans, I think it was. And yeah, as you say, I've struggled. Huh?
Big Mike, man.
Yeah, just struggled with all the shit. And like you say, just probably blindly back Jameis Winston. But I just love him. I loved him as a leader. And he can do some unreal things. And for me, because I was getting to learn the game, it was actually really, really fun to watch. But then you actually look at it, like, as we all know, he's the GOAT, isn't he, in terms of interceptions? He's fucking setting records, going 30 and 30, passing for nearly 6,000 yards and throwing 30 interceptions. But I just love the way he played, and we obviously went back to Florida in 2017, and I just associate my experience of America is, I've obviously been other places, but America for me is Tampa and Florida. So yeah,
I think what underestimated about Jameis Winston is that, like, I think he was always trying to prove himself. Like, no matter if you watched him, like, he's always trying to make these throws where you think to yourself, why is he trying to force it in there? He's trying to make it happen. Because I think he felt like he needed to be big play.
Yeah.
Big play, Jameis, big play. He wasn't happy to just drop it down and just take the chunks. And, like, with Brady at the helm of the Patriots, that's what I've seen over the years. I mean, he's made Julian Edelman look like a top 5 receiver in the game. He works inside on that slot, and he's unguardable. He comes out with his break. Well, he's intelligent, he's high. And I think what you'll see in the change this year is Brady's mentality. He'll put like an imprint on the Bucs themselves, and they'll feel
it.
That's TB12, mate. Yeah.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you.
Yes, you are. You are.
No, I'm not. What it was is because there was talks about it, and I thought, nah. Because we were tipped to get Teddy Bridgewater. So then when the Panthers signed him, I thought, well, who are we actually going to go for now? Because the other person was Phillip Rivers, wasn't it? So, and obviously that didn't come off. And so I thought, well, they must be keeping Jameis. And part of me did want them to, but that was just me having blind loyalty towards him. So when that Tom Brady stuff got announced, I was like, this ain't real. This is not real.
The thing is, we got to think is as well. You've got a coach who's used to winning as well.
Yeah.
Bruce, when he was at Arizona.
At Cardinals, yeah.
I mean, that Cardinals team, like Todd Bowles as the defensive coordinator as well. Like that Arizona team should have done better than they did.
Yeah, look at Johnson's done nothing since they've left. Absolutely nothing.
They got to the playoffs, didn't they, 2015, when we battered them.
Yeah.
They were arguably the best. They were arguably the best team all season.
Yeah.
And then they came up against us, and we blew them away. And then they literally have not been the same since.
I think they lacked like that real winner at quarterback. Obviously, while Carson Palmer was an all right quarterback, he just wasn't a winner. Like, and it comes to these moments, and like I've been fortunate. I've got to grow and follow my team watching Brady. Yeah. And when the toughest moments were there, all of a sudden it looked like something. It looked like we was in control, because I mean, I remember the Seattle Super Bowl. Like, I remember the Atlanta one when we were losing, and I was getting stick left, right, centre, and all I was going was, yeah, but we got TB12. Like, this ain't over.
Yeah,
this ain't over. Like, because somebody's gonna make a play, and somebody like it for some reason, like, he gives you a different belief and a different feeling about what's ahead of you. And like, no matter what hole you're in, you kind of just go, all right, then we can do this.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say earlier was, obviously you both like pretty much started getting into it around 2014, 2015.
Properly, yeah.
And I wanted to know, like, do you feel that Madden's had an effect on you, especially like knowing the rules and stuff like that?
100%. I think I play religiously. Well, I say religiously, but I play it a lot. A lot. Certainly doing Madden and definitely doing fantasy leagues has helped me learning players, playing Madden has helped me know positions, different plays, how to read different defenses, offenses, all that kind of. Madden has massively, massively helped me personally.
Absolutely agree, because regardless of the actual game mechanics, the strategic game that NFL is reciprocated exactly as it is in real life through the game. Regardless of graphics and things like that, it's all exactly the same. So, as Liam said, like learning routes, everything, and players, how everything works, that's helped massively. Absolutely.
Because I always find, like, whenever I start talking to somebody who's new to the game, especially in UK, you do find a lot of people that are new to the game.
Yeah.
Whenever I speak to somebody, I always find a conversation and say, look, the way I learned more about the game was through Madden, because I did the same. When I first started playing, I mean, I remember when Miles was at university at Radford, me and Miles used to play Madden against each other online.
Well,
And like, that's how I got...
Yeah, not to cut you off, but because obviously we tried to play a little bit last year or the year before, obviously travel and stuff and work. But what did the lads say? The lads say, like, play Madden to learn. Like, obviously we got the playbook, so they're saying just do that as well, which was.
I mean, that was an interesting part. That was, like, I mean, getting to look at a playbook and see the plays and stuff like that. Obviously, like, trying to learn them is different. To actually just obviously like playing it on a game sort of thing. When you're trying to learn them, like, I mean, it's a difficult thing to do, but I tell you what, like, it gives you a different like feel for the game. And I mean, I was fortunate enough. I went to Nashville a couple of Christmases ago, as you both know, and I met the Auburn lads. And
did you?
I got a friend.
Never told me about that one.
I didn't think I had now. But a couple of them are entering the draft this year. The punter who I made friends with, Aaron, he was such a funny guy. I mean, I remember that Christmas Day night we were dancing to Footloose in a random bar.
Yeah. Do you know what you should generally do? Like, because obviously, seeing all the stuff, and obviously, was it the quarterback's girlfriend or sister? You spent a lot of time with that one.
Yeah,
mate, you need to tag him in this. You need to tag him.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, Hank Appleton, his Will's dad. He messages me still.
Pretty much took you under their wing, didn't they? To be fair.
Yeah, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I was out there on my own. Yeah. So, like, to meet somebody the first day I was there, just sat drinking in a bar, because I could talk football. They loved me. They like that's basically how we started, and then it grew from there. And he still texts me now. I mean, Hank, he commented on something that I put up the other day. And like, he messaged me the other day asking how I was and asking how I'm finding not being on lockdown and if I'm safe and how my family is and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's quite nice that, like, I was able to experience this unbelievable city. And I went to the Auburn Purdue game, and is it David Blah? He played for the Lions last year when Matt Stafford was injured. He played the Thanksgiving game. Now, he threw a 75-yard bomb opening play of the game for a TD. And I'm not joking now. When I watched him, oh my God, he was trash. It was bad.
Trash.
And then, funnily enough, like, the quarterback I was watching that day was Stidham.
Yeah.
And he is now technically QB1 for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Madness, isn't it? So absolutely.
It's madness how it all worked out that way. And like,
just while we're on that, because you're both here, can you talk me through even more significance of that day? Because obviously it had a lot to do with our draft, didn't it? Our draft league, in the fact that you two played each other in the final, and you were actually there watching your team fuck you in the draft league.
I got fucked by Andrew Luck, man.
You know that when I won? That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So Beeves was actually there watching the game where his quarterback has fucked him.
Andrew Luck, ruin him.
So,
and then retired.
Forever in my heart.
I'm at the Titans game.
Did he retire after that game?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So you actually retired him as well?
Oh no! He cost me a title. didn't retire him. He just cost me a title. But what I will say is, like, being sat in that stadium, and I mean, that stadium is amazing. The Nashville Stadium was, like, the Tennessee Titans Stadium. It was amazing. Like, and I was sat in the in the stand, and I was in, like, I was probably like second tier, middle tier, and I was about the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the game, and I am just watching Andrew Luck, knowing that he's the only player that Liam's got playing, right? And I need him to score less than 30 points. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm all right here. And then from the moment the ball got kicked off, Andrew Luck was just going up and down the field, and it was like by the second quarter, I knew I'd lost. I was just like, what? And Tennessee's defense. And the thing is, the worst thing is, Tennessee's defense isn't actually bad.
No.
With Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler as the two cornerbacks, I was thinking to myself, these two are gonna pick a ball off. They're gonna make it a tough game, especially with the way the Titans are with Mark Vrabel. They're a tough side. They're built around Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry weren't running the ball. Nothing was happening, and all that was going through my head was, somebody needs to stop Andrew Luck here because this is getting bad. And he was just he put a hurt on him. But being in that stadium, and it was like a playoff atmosphere because it was winning you in.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Unfortunately, the Colts were that good that day.
Oh, fuck yeah, of course it was.
They were quality all season. They had a rough start, and then as soon as they got over that patch,
They won like 10 straight.
The season, didn't they?
They won I think they won like 8 or 9, maybe 10 straight at the last. But the problem was that I'm watching the game and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, this is going to be an amazing atmosphere." Andrew Luck was that good on that day that I basically lost the atmosphere within seconds because he literally just lit the skies up, and I was just like, "Bro, you can't do this to me." I mean, it cost me my fantasy championship. He ruined the playoff experience. Well, the kind of playoff experience for me.
Yeah.
To be honest, I should hate Andrew Luck.
You should, yeah.
I love him.
I'll bet you do. To be fair, saying
that is the number 12 I can get behind.
Yeah, because you've always backed him in your fantasy, though, haven't you? To be fair,
yeah. First season I got him, and he was out all year. He finally came back, picked him that year. He won the championship for me. I even picked him the year after, and then he retired just after, which I was just like.
So obviously, yeah, that's a bit about us. I say a bit. I think that's run on for about 40 minutes, to be fair, but I think there's a good introduction. But I think we'll obviously move on to, we spoke about it briefly, we'll move on to what's going on down in Tampa, because obviously that's the biggest news at the moment, I suppose, other than the draft tomorrow. We signed Tom Brady. It's all still a bit surreal for me. I can't believe what's going on. Like, yes, he's 42, but it's still Tom fucking Brady.
Carl, just quickly, did you see that he got chucked out of a park by the police?
Yeah. So they were saying this. I've been watching quite a lot of stuff. Like, he was obviously doing a workout in a gated park. No one in there whatsoever. And they were saying, had he been doing it in Boston, the police would have been running routes for him and stuff. But they just fucking hoid him straight out. Because I actually think people didn't know who he was, apparently, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. There was just a geezer throwing balls in the park.
Yeah.
And then when the police officer got close to him...
it's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. This is unfortunate, but I need you to leave, Tom.
You did leave, Tom.
I'm intrigued to see what workouts he was doing because he doesn't run. All he does is that. You can do that sat from his armchair, surely.
Yeah. Hey, when TB12, mate, when TB12 decides to run, right, do you know what it is, mate? It's not so much he's running, it's his feet, mate. I tell you what, right, I've watched him, I have watched so many games of Brady, and I've watched him slide and move, and the geezer can't run to save his life. I mean, if you follow the game, his combine
is the best.
His 40-yard dash is possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I'm a big guy, man. But I reckon my 40-yard dash should be close to Tom Brady's at that point.
You know what? Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
Because I watched him run, and I was thinking to myself, bro, is he running? But I tell you what, give me that geezer any day of the week, because I have watched him slide around pockets, and somehow defenders just seem to miss him, and you're like, how did he get there? Don't get me wrong, these new quarterbacks, you look at Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and the way they move around the pocket sort of thing. And I think that's what you'll see from Garoppolo. I think that's what you'll see from Garoppolo as well. Because Garoppolo is more of a mover than a runner. But I think what you'll see from Garoppolo is he'll learn to move a bit better and a bit smoother and a bit. Because when Tom Brady was first in the league, I mean, if you look at his first 2 Super Bowls, they were off the back of great defense. And I mean, obviously the last one when we beat the Rams, I mean, that defensive strategy, Jesus Lord, the Rams were this big offense, and it was going to be a shootout like it was against Philly. But you just watch Brady move in the pocket; it's just something else. And I think that you'll see more now when he's your quarterback, Carl. You'll see it a lot more. You'll see you'll watch him and you'll think to yourself, "Oh my God, we're going to win the game." You'll be down, mate. You could be down 6 with like a minute left, and you'll be like, "Yeah, we're going to win the game."
Rather than being 30, 35 up, and it's the fourth quarter, you're still 35-0, and then thinking we're still going to lose, and you do with James Winston.
I mean,
throwing pick sixes in overtime to lose the game on the regular. Huh?
Didn't he do that against the Giants?
Oh, he's done it. I think he did it 3 or 4 times. He did it against the Giants, and he did it last game of the season. Who did we finish up against last game of the season?
No, the one for me was the first game of the season against 49ers. Was it first game of the season, 49ers?
Second game of the season against 49ers. Who we should have beat.
When you should have, you should have put them to the sword. You were battering them, and then there were so many times where with Tampa, I mean, I said it to you a few years ago. Mark Evans is a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
He is elite. He's similar to AJ Green. You throw that ball up, and all of a sudden, Mark Evans has got the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult for people to fully get. Jameis was trying to make it happen rather than just letting it happen, and you'll see a difference now. I'm interested to see what happened to Jameis. I seen something the other day about the Canadian League and stuff like that.
Did you see that workout video he did?
Oh mate.
Are we talking about? Have you seen it, Liam?
Nah.
Oh mate.
Liam.
Get your fucking phone out now. Get your phone out.
Mate, just watch it and you'll question what's going on. And it's one of the weirdest workout videos I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. But I don't know what to say about it. To be honest, it was just weird. It was weird.
I think he's in a position though where he's looking at it and going, well, I've been replaced in Tampa, and people are saying I can't do it. People are saying this about me. People are saying that. And I think he generally feels that he can do it, and he can. He's got a great arm. He just
not just that, mate. What's annoying is prior to the obviously the draft, one of the main selling points for him was his QB intelligence, his actual intelligence of the game. It's off the genuinely, it's off the radar. It is off the radar. But then he just goes and does stupid. He switches off and just does stupid stuff. First throw of the game, throwing it to the fucking opposite corner, who's about 7 yards away with no one on an open route at all, just pinging it. And then not only that, it's called as a foul play. Ball comes back and he does it again. It's the same fucking person.
I've been crawling, by the way, on all fours.
You what, mate?
Is he crawling on all fours?
No, it's the main bit is he's dodging a boxing water bag.
And I just watched him crawl on all fours looking like an absolute monk.
Well, yeah, he loves crabs, doesn't he?
The thing I'd say with Tampa this year is, I mean, you look at Godwin. I mean, they're blessed this year. That offense is. I'm interested to see how the running backs go.
Yeah, I think
I'm interested to see, because what I think you'll do is I think you'll use Ronald Jones and I think you'll use Peyton Barber.
Let me just double check them. I don't know if they brought Barber back.
But I think that what you'll find is that they'll use a committee base. It'll be about their hands, because Brady likes to utilize his running backs in the passing game. With Big Mike, Big Mike's going to see a double team. Gronk's going to see a double team.
Yeah.
Godwin's going to have to work his routes and get him. I mean, you're blessed. You are blessed. But the running game, I mean, that's one thing that I've always said. You got to be able to run the ball at least. a little bit.
I think.
And
You've got a running game based on last year. You have not got a running game.
No, I don't, like Liam's always been a critic of our running game, and to be fair, rightly so. Like I don't mean that in a bad way, because obviously we traded Ronald Jones with a view of him to being. We drafted Ronald Jones with a view to him being our number one running back, but ever since we brought him in, it's kind of been a committee between him, Barber, and Adumbawale. So he's never actually really had a run out. And when Bruce Arians come in, like he wasn't that hot on him. Obviously, he would talk in the press that he was, but you could see that he clearly wasn't, and it would be a rotation between the three.
I've seen rumours going for Swift in this year's draft.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I don't know. I think
DeAndre, is he the one at Georgia?
Yes, I think he is.
Mate, he's so good.
But the thing is, like, I think the running game will automatically look better this year because, as you say, you can have double teams on Evans, you can have double teams on Gronk. But we had that last year anyway, and it was, regardless of that, it was either Mike Evans was going off, or if he wasn't, then Chris Godwin was going off. Like, I'm actually really, really excited to see Chris Godwin's numbers this year because Mike Evans is my favourite player. I love him. You know, I love him. But Chris Godwin, like, he's fucking brilliant, mate. So if those two are double team, like, he's just automatically going to go off because he's not going to have anyone on him. If the ball's in, like, he doesn't give a fuck about anyone who's around him. Like, he's so arrogant. He's so fucking arrogant. But I love it.
Yeah, you've got to be there as a wide receiver. You've got to, because your job is to beat the man across from you. So, like, and you got to be arrogant. Like, you got to go up to this guy, stand up to the line, no matter who's facing you, and just go, "Oh my God, I've got your number.
Yeah,
you ain't guarding me today." I mean, it's the same when you watch the Saints, man. You look at Michael Thomas. He's I mean, I don't know if you've seen his Instagram. His Instagram name is Can't Guard Mike.
Mate, I watched him destroy us twice last year and twice the year before. Like, it's fucking embarrassing.
That's what I'm interested about this year, actually. In your division, you've got Brady versus Matt Ryan twice, Brady versus Drew Brees twice, Brady versus Bridgewater.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Carolina are in a transitional period, and I'm not sure how they're going to be this year.
Last in that division next year.
But like,
I'm expecting us to come last in the division.
I'm not. I was originally, but I still think you're better than the Falcons, mate. I really do.
Not when they've got weapons already.
No,
Calvin Ridley, who
Calvin Ridley.
Those two alone are enough to win a game. Yeah, we've got McCaffrey, but we saw the back end of last year. If you can bottleneck him, he struggles.
I'm interested
to see last year, but still. McCaffrey can be stopped, whilst Julio is in my opinion, he's up there with Michael Thomas and Hopkins.
Yeah, he didn't have a great year last year, but Julio's always got to be in the conversation, hasn't he? Because he's a fucking unit. He's an absolute beast.
And they've upgraded arguably.
Say that again, Liam.
I remember. I'm sorry, Liam. Go on.
No, I was saying they've upgraded at running back as well, arguably.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how Gurley does. Big time.
Well, I think he's another one, isn't he? He's got something to prove. Obviously, people saying his knees are shot and whatever, and he was nowhere near the player he was the year before last. But I think he's another one. He's going to want to prove it. He's at a new team. He's probably going to fucking go off, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, he's back home as well, and he spent years at college in Georgia, and
want to prove anything. That's what it is.
Massively.
Yeah, I mean that running back trio at Georgia at one point was Todd Gurley, Sonny Michel, and Nick Chubb.
That's just disgusting.
What I am intrigued is with the amount of weapons that Tampa Bay have now. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be that one?
That is a very good point.
From a fantasy point of view, I think it's difficult to pick one of them to start.
Well, this is it. This is what I said to you last year when we had talks about stuff.
How much is Gronk going to play?
Yeah, I agree. And this is
last year was going to be great.
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, if Gronk is fit, he plays every game. The bloke is unguardable. I have watched him. Like when we played the Legion of Boom and we beat him in the Super Bowl. Oh my God, Cam Chancellor was giving it all this. They had Earl Thomas. Like, you can't guard Gronk.
Let's not forget, he's injury prone to a certain extent. However, like you can clearly see from his persona, like he does what he wants. The reason he's already said the reason he retired is so he didn't have to go Detroit. Like that's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. Like, and he's still only 31.
There was nothing other than the fact he didn't want to go to the Lions.
Yeah, he said, like, the only reason I want to get back into football is when I get that feeling back. That feeling, what he actually meant was when Tom Brady goes somewhere else, I'm going with him. So I don't know what the fuck Bill Belichick's done, but clearly neither of them like him.
That's a nice little segue into my question, actually.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm intrigued. I think it'll be fine, but it'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are, Beaves. How do you guys now recover and bounce back from this setback, should we say?
Fucking monumental setback. It's over. That Patriots fucking dynasty's gone, brother.
Where do you see going? What do you see yourselves doing in the draft? Do you see yourselves picking up anything else in free agency? How do you think next year's going to be? You know, there's so many question marks over the Patriots now, I think, personally. Do you think you'll win a division? Do you think you'll make the playoffs? Do you know, there's loads.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we'll win the division. Yes, we'll make the playoffs. The reason is that our defense hasn't gone anywhere.
True.
That defense is going to be elite, and what we've got offensively is we're going to build around the running game, I feel, and whether we stick with Stidham and ride it out and see what happens, because if you watch him throw the ball, he's got beautiful mechanics. He's a good thrower of the ball. Like, there's a kid in the draft that called Jordan Love from Utah.
Yep, I know you mean.
Utah. Oh my God, that kid is unbelievable. And I think when the Patriots are picking, I believe we're 23. He'll be on the board still. Now, whether I take him first round, because I don't think he's going to come out in the first round, I think the first round quarterbacks you'll see is Burrows will go at 1, 2 will go at 5 to Miami, and Justin Herbert will go to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Well,
I was going to ask about Herbert, to be fair, to see where you thought.
But on Miami, apparently they're trying to trade up, aren't they now? Apparently.
Yeah, because they're panicking the 2 is going to go
5 to 3, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're panicking 2 is going to
go for an offensive tackle as opposed to a QB, by the way.
Who's that?
Really?
Apparently, Miami are after trading up to 3 to get.
There's no way they're not taking a quarterback. There's no way.
That's the
There's
rumor.
no way they're not taking Tua.
I don't know, mate. We've seen some pretty strange things in the fucking draft.
The weirdest thing I've ever seen in the draft, the weirdest thing I've ever seen was how much the Redskins gave for RG3. And the fact the Rams haven't got a first round pick makes me laugh as well.
For the next 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Mate, let's not even fucking.
Do you think you'll?
Talking on that, just can we just come back to that 2 seconds? Sorry to jump in, because obviously we're talking about draft picks and stuff, and about the Rams not having picks. Someone talked to me about the Texans. Like, are they okay?
They've got no picks.
They've got no DeAndre Hopkins.
They've got no picks. Will Fuller can't stay off the fucking injury bed. Like DeAndre Hopkins was a good.
That Drake song.
David Johnson.
Yeah, Drake song. Where he
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
No, what's it? He's fucking singing. Huh? Say that again.
It's the death still at the bottom.
0 to 100 real.
I mean, since so many, and we're here right now. Who the fuck are y'all? That Drake song. That's Deshaun Watson when he gets to training. First training session. Like
him and JJ Watt looking at each other, going, "Where is everyone?" But I'll tell you what, Rob, I'm interested to see how David Johnson does there. Like, I mean, it's a strange move. I would never have moved DeAndre Hopkins in my life.
No.
But however, right, and I mean, Houston don't have a pick this year. I don't know if did they trade Arizona for a first round pick?
Yeah, mate. I don't think they've got any pick. Like, I don't think they're in the draft.
Did they get a first round pick for?
Houston haven't got a pick, but I think that might have been lost when they got last year with Miami, Laramie Tunsil.
Oh yeah, but did they when they traded Hopkins? Did they only get a second rounder?
Yeah, it wasn't a first.
It was
Oh wow!
I don't think it was. Wow. I'll double check.
When it's third,
that might make a move.
I think Liam's right. I don't even think it was second. It might have been third or fourth round pick.
The geezer they've got there's a geezer coming out of Baylor. I can't remember his name now. Oh, let me find him. Yeah, there's a wide receiver coming out of Baylor who is a monster, and he won't go early, but he might be the best in the draft, mate. Like, genuinely, he's hands-off frightening. It's slipped my mind. I can't think of his name. He's honestly, he's unbelievable. He's special.
You mean.
Talking on that Hopkins trade, they reckon that he actually manufactured it
Denzel
himself.
Mims, by the way.
Say again, sorry?
Denzel Mims.
Yes, Mims. He's going to go off, man. Like, to be fair, when a few years ago, when Cooper Kupp got drafted in the 3rd round, I think I said to Carl, Carl, this kid can catch, man. He's got hands.
Yeah.
Like, and you see the plays that Mims makes, and you look at him and you go, oh, okay. Don't get me wrong, though. CD Lamb and Jerry Jeudy and Ruggs, them boys are good. That Ruggs is interesting because he's somebody like Philadelphia could do him. He'd do so well with Carson Wentz. Because Ruggs.
There's talk of him going to the Chiefs, aren't they? Saying they would make, if he went to the Chiefs, then he would just like round out their offense now altogether.
The thing with Ruggs is though, mate, he's a deep threat, and they've got that in Hill and Watkins. Like, I don't personally think, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of bias there because I don't like the Chiefs. I don't want the Chiefs to win. They've got exceptional players, and I'm glad Andy Reid's won a Super Bowl because, like, he's been there. He's worked hard. I mean, his wins are frightening.
Yeah.
And that team he had in Philadelphia, I mean, don't get me wrong, they lost in the Super Bowl, but it's good for them to have won. And Travis Kelce, I love Travis Kelce, quality player, but like, I don't know, I'm not a Chief lover, I suppose, but that's because I'm a Patriots fan. We've ruled the AFC for so long. You don't want to lose that. You never want to see somebody else take the spot.
That's what it is.
I generally think I believe the Bills will win the division this year. Personally,
nah. The Bills are the same team they've always been.
There's no discussion would be not happening. Man, fuck the Bills.
Do you know what, right? The joy is, right, Sean McDermott's gone in there and he built a really good team. Josh Allen, like, don't get me, like, and I watched him last year against Houston in that playoff game, and he was a wild playoff game. But you have to win that game in that situation. I know Deshaun broke out of that tackle and stuff like that, but I'm sorry, you have to win that game. Like, there's only, like, and they played us twice last year and they pushed us in both games, sort of thing. But again, they can't get it done.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can get to it. You can go, oh yeah, we've got a good team. And then all of a sudden you play a good team and you get beaten. You're like, well, you're not a good team because you're not beating the good teams. Good teams beat good teams. It's like, I know it sounds ridiculous.
No, I know what you mean.
The Chiefs, the Ravens, the Patriots, when we all went at it last year, is the good teams beat good teams. You got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to win, especially in the moments when the lights are shining brightest. That's when you find out who's good, who's the one, and who's not. Because the Bills were in Houston, ahead, comfortably, and they were throwing the ball away and just making bad decisions. Like,
you could argue though that they're not used to being in playoff positions.
I mean, you can, yeah, but like at the end of the day,
you guys have monopolised the playoffs from the AFC East for that long. Then you know it's always going to be difficult for someone to book that trend. And I've just got a feeling they're just going from strength to strength. I like what they're building. The Jets, they're a non-factor. Let's be honest. The Dolphins, they're still rebuilding. They're a non-factor.
The Dolphins, I'll tell you what, that defense is going to be special, man. And
yeah, they're built. Like I said, they're building, but I don't think it'll be this. It won't be this season. It'll be the one after, if anything.
I don't know, man. Tua special, man.
Either way, regardless of whether
what about today, they're going for a tackle, like I said.
You're about to say about the Bucs, ain't you, go?
no, I wasn't. I was staying with Miami. I was like, regardless of what they do, you have to put your money on them beating the Pats at least once. It's going to happen
In Miami,
every year.
In Miami, oh my God, Miami is the only place I know Brady's going to lose.
It's just, well, yeah, it might not happen now because he's gone. To be fair,
I was the only player. I was the only person.
Yeah,
I was the only person that knew that we weren't going to beat Miami last game. I was saying to you, we ain't going to beat Miami. When that comes down to it, and when we had Tennessee, the only thing that was going through my head is Ryan fucking Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill has beaten us many a time. People forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami can be trash as they like. They'll still beat us once a year.
It's we've gone off on a massive tangent, but in a good way. So I'm happy with that. Obviously, it was about the Bucs, but just finishing on that point, just because obviously Brady is 42. To be fair, like he's the GOAT. Liam won't like it. I've trashed Brady for the last 4 years with Liam, so I have to take all that disrespect out of my mouth now and do a full a 180 on it. But boom or bust on Brady this season. What's going to happen?
Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Boom. He's unbelievable. Liam.
Be honest, mate.
By his standards, bust.
Yeah, but are you so what you're essentially saying is, do you think he's going to have regressed because of age? In terms of he's not going to be at his prime, is he? Let's be honest.
He'll be an off season by his standards, but it'll be a good season by the Bucs standards because we know how dross they have been over the last 10 years.
Well, yeah, we haven't made the playoffs. Which on your point previously about the Bills, like that does worry me. Yes, we've got Tom Brady at the helm, but he can't compensate for everyone else. Like if we do get to the playoffs, do we bottle it? Like because it won't be. Brady can do what he can to motivate everyone.
No, you won't, because you I still think you'll make the playoffs. I think the NFC South will probably see what we saw a few years ago, where they have multiple teams in the playoffs again. Yeah. At least the Saints and the Bucs will be in the playoffs, and that's when, as Beeves knows, Brady comes into his own. Brady is the playoffs, and he will be the one that will carry you further into the playoffs than anybody else. But he's got the receivers that he's been craving for years. He's got Evans, he's got Godwin, he's got his boy back. He's got arguably a better line defense, not so much, but
I don't know, man. Like you say that, like Todd Bowles' defense, like is like especially towards the back end of last season. I feel like we're one piece away from like having it solved, because the young lads at cornerback, I spoke to you both about them. Like that fucking arrogance that they've got. They don't give a shit if they're going up against Michael Thomas or fucking Julio Jones. Like they don't care. And
the thing is, you've seen them twice a year, haven't you? You've seen Mark Evans twice. You've seen Michael Thomas twice a year. You've seen Julio Jones twice a year. There's no getting away from it.
Michael Thomas, to be like twice. To be fair, like we couldn't do anything against him, but everyone else, we didn't really struggle. Like we beat ourselves, and it took me a long time to actually look at it. Like the majority of the time, it was Winston or the O-line's fault.
What you got to look at, what you have to look at with the Bucs last year is that they had every time they were ahead, Winston had turned the ball over. Yeah. 30 interceptions. Yeah. 30 interceptions. He's big and he fumbled the ball a lot. Like, and the problem is, what you don't ever see is how many times the defense starts inside their own 40.
Yeah, no.
Like, and you ain't got to. You've only got to go 10 yards and you put 3 on the board. Like, you ain't going to shut a team out every week. It ain't going to happen. You ain't going to shut a team down every play. And the difference is when you're starting with short fields, you get up and you are playing too hot. There's some quarterbacks in that division that are good. The NFC is frightening for quarterbacks, to be honest. Some of the quarterbacks in the NFC are unbelievable. I mean, I'm a huge Russell Wilson fan. Like, I think
we're all fans of him. To be fair, aren't we? Like
that guy is unbelievable. And then you've got Rodgers, Breeze. It's just frightening. And you've got people in there. I mean,
and Brady got to go to Green Bay this season as well.
Yeah,
but that won't bother him, mate. That won't bother him, mate.
Big class, though.
Yeah. It's Brady v. Rodgers again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to rant and rave about Rodgers. It's only in the last year that I don't like him. I realise what an absolute clown he actually is.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I don't know.
So self-righteous, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's. I 100% agree, mate.
I used to absolutely adore him.
What I think people underestimate.
I think he's overrated personally now.
I think last year proved for me, especially last year. Like obviously it's different in the past, but last year he didn't have a plan B.
Nah.
Like his go-to he was almost as bad as Jameis, other than the fact that he was purposely overthrowing the ball. Like he had nothing other than a deep ball. That was it. Knowing that it was going to no one.
The thing I'd say is like, I mean, all you ever hear is if Aaron Rodgers loses a game, all you ever hear is he's got no weapons. He's got no weapons. He's got no weapons.
Yeah.
Von Adams is an absolute gun, right? And
mate, absolutely.
What Rodgers has never done for me, like, is he's never made anyone better.
No.
Like Jordy Nelson, they're saying that they'll say that Jordy Nelson was better with Rodgers and stuff like that. Yeah, Jordy Nelson was good, but like the knee injury doesn't help. He was a year back. Went to a bad Raiders side who were going through a transition and
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, mate. Beeves just like he's got no excuse. He's like Devontae Adams is a weapon. He's got no excuse.
Like I'm the last time Brady had a weapon like Mark Evans, he went unbeaten. Like, and I mean Bruce Arians turned away Antonio Brown. Just let that be known.
Yeah. Apparently, he's come back for a second opinion. Apparently, as of today,
there's no way you're signing AB as well.
I know, definitely, it won't happen. But he's trying to bash the door down. He wants in,
mate.
He wants in the party.
Mate, they want to play with Brady, mate.
I know. They all want free wristbands. They all want VIP to the Bucs party.
Mate, they want to play with Brady, and like the truth is, mate, people get better playing with him
because this situation reminds me of Beeves. I know you'll be able to relate a bit more, but the whole Brady leaving New England, Gronk leaving New England, it reminds me of the Monday Night Wars back in the 90s. All the big boys leaving the WWE, thinking it's better at the WCW, and then the Patriots, aka the WWE, go about their business, keep going. They'll struggle a bit, but then boom. Next thing you know, they're the big conglomerate again.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now. I'm telling you this now.
Too big for his boots. He's gone off. F this. I'm going off to WCW. I'm going to bring my boys Scott Hall and Diesel with me. In this case, it's Gronk and possibly Edelman.
Edelman ain't going anywhere.
So what is that? That makes Brady Hulk Hogan. There we go. They're off to the WCW thinking it's better. And next thing you know, the Bucs will fall apart like the WCW did.
What you got to think is, like, I mean, there is, yeah, but what you've got to think is the people that were to use Liam's story about when they were left and went to WCW. They didn't leave with a chip on their shoulder though. They left to get more money, and they left it because they just didn't care. They just wanted to make money. Like what you got to think about Brady is money means nothing to him because his missus is the highest paid supermodel in history or whatever it is, man. It's ridiculous.
Fuck.
Giselle. But what you got to think is it's generally like he's going there and all they're going to say is this season is a big season for Brady at 42 years old because all he's ever had is, you're a system quarterback. Is it Belichick? Is it Brady? We're about to find out.
Yeah, it was after
What's the minimum expectations for the Bucs this year then?
For me personally, like I would
minimum
playoffs, like minimum playoffs, because we've been so close without Brady. We've been so close with Jameis Winston, and it's been enjoyable up until about 6 or 7 games in, and then having the wheels fall off for about 4 or 5 games, and then just fucking it all going Pete Tong. So I think, yes, Tom Brady. Well, his movement's never been great anyway. So I'm not actually that worried about age, if you know what I mean, because he's so much more knowledgeable than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL. He's done it all, and his movement's never been a factor of his gameplay anyway. So I'm not too fussed about that. And I think after watching so many videos about his actual mentality and how he come into the NFL and how he was always overlooked and the absolute passion that he always had, you know, I was watching him cry about stuff and just it was that video you sent me, mate. To be fair, and I watched it, and I was just like, this guy's on another level. Like another level, like he won't allow people to fucking put him down. Like he genuinely takes it to the heart, where he'll do fucking 150% more than what he actually needs to make sure that he's going to get the job done. Like it was just, I couldn't believe it.
Carl, was that the Brady 6 I sent you? When we're talking about those 6 people that got drafted before him, and he still remembers their names.
Yeah, mate.
Nothing like that. Like, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, Liam.
He just won the Super Bowl, bear in mind, and he'd done it, and he was still getting upset about people talking trash about him. I'm just like, so then he just did even more to get better, and I was just like, this guy's like fucking on another level. Like I never knew he was like that.
Mate, winning, like the thing about what I think people don't see about Brady, like, and I've watched a lot about Brady. I've watched a lot, anything to do with him, I've probably watched, like, and like what I found is that winning is a habit. Losing's a habit. Losing's the worst habit to break. Winning's an easy one to break because everything can fall apart quickly and you can struggle to find it again. And do you know what? Brady's been to the Super Bowl and lost. Man, like, and it doesn't bother him losing, but what bothers him is not getting better.
Yeah.
And if he thinks in my opinion, he's going into this season going, I got bounced out of the playoffs in the first round last year. I'm not with my old team anymore. I've got better weapons. What I'm about to do is I'm about to show why I'm the greatest. Like, and if there's an interview where somebody called him the GOAT and he goes, I appreciate saying that, but I don't want to be known as that. Like, I don't like that.
And it was just like that thing that's come out of him being told to get out the park for doing a workout, like just reiterated that all over again. Like he's like a kid. He's gone to a park to just throw the ball to make sure that he's still throwing the ball. And I'm just like, this is what I want to fucking hear. I want to hear that he's getting chucked out of parks. Like that's what I want to hear. Like he's honestly, fucking, how many rings he got? 6, 7 rings, and he's still going to the park to practice. Like while everyone's at home playing Madden on their fucking Xbox or whatever.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
That's he's got a want but in a positive way.
Well. Yeah, he's got a want to be there as well. Like he ain't just cashing a check. Like, okay, you're paying him $30 million across 2 years.
Yeah,
but he ain't just cashing that check.
No, I think what it is, like I said, like Liam said about he's changed his opinion on Aaron Rodgers. Like I always thought of Tom Brady in that way, that how me and Liam feel about Aaron Rodgers now, that I don't like Aaron Rodgers because I think he's arrogant for no reason. And I think he is overrated personally. People might not agree with that, but I do think he's overrated. And I didn't think Tom Brady was overrated, but I always thought he was arrogant and had a chip on his shoulder, but not in the right way. I said I've watched stuff about and actually watched interviews and realised that he's actually a completely different person to what I thought he was. Do you know what I mean?
Started in Michigan now, mate.
Yeah.
Started in Michigan when they took that starting job off him, that he made him fight for it. And I mean, if you get a chance, watch the highlights of when he beat Alabama.
I did, mate. I watched it.
Something special, mate. And the thing with Brady is he's a leader. Like, and when we signed James Harrison, when we signed James Harrison at the Patriots, he came in and everyone was like, and he's done an interview since he was on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon and stuff like that. And he was on there and they were like, he went on to Colin Cowherd, and I think on the one Colin Cowherd interview, he said, Colin Cowherd just went to me and went, so what was Brady like? And he was like, he was the first guy that came up to me, shook my hand and said, I'm glad you're on my team. I'm sick of you chasing me and stuff like that. Yeah. I ain't got to worry about you chasing me and stuff like that. Like, apparently he is just like a player's player sort of thing. And apparently, like, and if he respects you, then like, I mean, obviously with what's going on in the world now, he can't. But I know for a fact that he's not. But his normal routine is he holds like he has all the wide receivers come and meet him on the beaches in LA, and he just does drills on the beach in LA with the receivers.
Well, that was it, wasn't it? There was a clause in signing, and it come out to be true. Was that the first thing he wanted once he signed the contract was everyone's phone numbers, like all the offenses, like everyone in the locker room wants their phone number so he could get in touch with them and organise whatever he needs to organise. So
it's about timing, and that's what he wants to get down. He wants to get the timing down, and I think Gronk's going to come in, and it'll be good for OJ Howard because he'll learn from him. I mean, if you've ever seen Gronk block, it's frightening. It's frightening.
We had a look yesterday.
That video I sent you the other day against the Colts, when he was getting jip and he just went, all right then, and he just ploughed the geezer into the end zone and into the stand, and everyone. Gronk. The reaction of Gronk down the sideline, and what Gronk gives you is some like he's hype, man. He's like a hype man. He generally is.
Brady retire if he doesn't succeed.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be the other way around. I think if he wins this year, I think he'll retire. Personally, I think he might have a clause in the contract. I think if he doesn't, then next year will be his last year. Personally, I think that's what it'll be. I
think he wants to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
And I think what you got to think is that this is his life. Like this is football is what he is. While he's got obviously TB12 and all the supplement stuff and everything like that, like this is what makes him who he is, and this is why. Like I don't see him going off and being a sports broadcaster or being in all these fucking commercials. Like I mean, he is in a lot of commercials, but like I don't see him going into broadcasting. I don't see it. I mean, I love Tony Romo in the broadcast commentary. I thought Tony Romo, but I think he got his career cut short prematurely. I think he was very underrated. He wasn't like, don't get me wrong, he wasn't to that level. But
where'd you see him going then? Ownership, coaching, what? Or just rides off into the sunset and then that's it?
None of it, mate. I don't see him staying involved in football.
Yeah.
Like I don't see him taking a coaching job or anything like that. I just don't see it. I think that winning and playing is everything to him. I just don't think he wants to coach because a lot of what Brady does. I mean, apparently he's unbelievable in the film room. Apparently, he spends so much time watching film and game tape that it's just ridiculous. Like for somebody of that age to still be doing it, like they're not expecting him to be watching the game tape, but apparently he's just watching game tape all the time. He's got his own video room back at his house, where he did have in the one in Boston.
That's for his midget porn, I heard.
I know Luke Kuechly was the same for us.
Oh, you can just tell, can't you? Because players like that, you can just tell that
players breathe, live and breathe the game.
The intelligence that they've got, like he was the quarterback of the defense, wasn't he? You can just tell players like that what they do.
He'll be massive.
You know what you were saying about like arrogance with Rodgers and Brady and stuff like that. Like I always feel that like to be good at anything, you have got to believe you are the best there.
Absolutely, because 100%. Because you're never going to succeed if you don't. You have to. But
like, and I look at it and I think to myself, like when I see like Mahomes do them no look passes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're showing off and stuff like that, right? That attitude is what makes you how good you are. Lamar Jackson's come out because obviously he's been named as the Madden cover. Yeah. And everyone's like, are you scared about the Madden curse? And he was like, if the curse is what Mahomes did, I'll have me a bit of that because obviously Mahomes...
Well, yeah, he broke it, didn't he? He pretty much broke the curse. He don't exist no more. He fucked it.
But, like, I think that like you have to have that attitude. I mean, I'm interested to see Lamar Jackson because I can see him I can see it not working out. I'm not a lover of him as a thrower.
Yeah,
I'm not a lover of him as a thrower.
Liam, on the other hand, absolutely loves him.
I love him because it reminds me of a young Cam Newton, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, but Cam can't throw the ball either. That's why Cam's not got a starting job.
Right.
That's why Cam's not got a starting job. That's the truth of it.
Oh yeah, and he's injuries, of course.
To be fair, like regardless of what's going on, I am actually shocked that Jameis and Cam haven't been offered a job, like massively.
I'm more shocked that Cam than Winston, if I'm honest.
No, I get that, but like regardless of the 30 interceptions, because it is ridiculous. Like he's still in every other aspect, he was number one pretty much.
I'm not surprised in the slightest because
Really,
I'm not.
maybe that's
surprised
just that might just be my inexperience of knowledge about the game. Do you know what I mean?
What you got to think is the teams that they could have gone to, right, are looking to win now.
Yeah, but are the Steelers going to win with Big Ben?
Yeah, they've got a better chance of winning with Big Ben. And
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
The one that surprised me was probably the Colts going for Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
but then Phillip Rivers is a winner. But what you got to think about with Cam and Jameis, right? And this is what holds it against them is they don't have that winners feeling. Like Cam's had probably 2 years where you think, oh yeah, he's been that MVP year was unbelievable, but you can't tell me he's dominated a season, and like being like winning's a big thing. Like Phillip Rivers wins a lot of games. Cam and Jameis do not win games. They throw the ball away a lot. They lose the games a lot because of the stupidity.
In respect of Cam Newton, what I think is his problem is that now he's been injured, everyone's seeing and thinking, oh, well, you've took away his main weapon, which is his running game.
Yeah.
And if he ain't running, then he ain't going to be a viable starter. So I do understand why people haven't gone for him, because everyone's going to be sceptical about what can you offer what you did back in 2015. Yeah. And if the answer is, in their opinion, no, then they ain't going to pick him. But if someone gives him a shot, I do think he will prove people wrong. But
this is it, isn't it? I do as well. Like, I don't hate Cam Newton. It's just rivalry between Panthers and the Bucs. Like, but you know, it's a not on the scale of Tom Brady, but it's a thing where they're both going to a new team, a new franchise. Like, they're both going to have something to prove massively, and I think they're both more than capable of doing it. Yes, James has got a hell of a lot more to work on than Cam Newton has.
Really, just.
But I am shocked that they haven't been offered a job. Like, I've heard fuck all about Jameis. Like I said, those videos that have been watched is because no one's speaking to him.
I've heard that he's getting an offer from the Canadian League, and that's it.
Yeah, that's like Liam said that earlier.
People don't want turnovers, mate, and that's what I think. I've been critical of Cam Newton for, like, I'm not bothered if you're upset when you lose, like, but lose, you got to lose in the right manner. Like when Conor McGregor lost to Nate Diaz, like, Conor McGregor is the biggest shit talker in history of anything, and he talks it, and he believes his own talk. Like, this is the thing. When he got beat by Nate Diaz, what did he do? He went, I was beat by a better man tonight. I'm going to go away. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to come back. Cam Newton left that thing and he was upset, and I get that it's the hardest game to lose. But you little bitch. Like, I don't see... I've never been a lover of Cam as a thrower. I don't think he's got the touch. I don't think he's got the poise. I think sometimes when he throws the ball, I'm like, why have you thrown that there? What? Like, and that's the same feeling I get when I watch Jameis. Constantly when I watch the games, all I'm going through in my head is, why have you thrown that there? No, at what point was that going to work?
The problem we have, what I was gutted at with Cam is not last year, but the season before, the opening 6 games before he got injured, he was unbelievable. His pass completion was up there with anybody's. Like, he had clearly developed his game over the summer under the new offensive coordinator, and he was trying to be sitting in the pocket, trying to pass. He was working on his accuracy, and it was showing because, like you said, those first 6 games he was unbelievable. It was a completely different Cam Newton to what we'd seen prior, and then all of a sudden he gets a twang in his shoulder, he starts to run. Next thing you know, he's done, and he misses all of last year, and which is a shame because I think he was starting to develop into kind of like a similar version or a hybrid version of what Big Ben was back in the day. But
it happens, doesn't it, with these running quarterbacks? Like, they're only one hit away, man.
Has killed Cam. I do think that injuries killed him because I think he was genuinely starting to change and adapt his game to suit longevity to his career, and injuries done him. Probably because no matter how he played previously was just run, hit. But
I think these running quarterbacks, though, like, I think that's where it's going to come down to it. And I think that's why you've seen Russell Wilson's game develop. Is because he runs.
But only when he needs to.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, Lamar Jackson's a good hit away from missing a few games.
I think Lamar's a lot more elusive than Cam, I would say, at this stage.
I mean, I don't know about Lamar Jackson's throwing ability. I think he throws a lot of high balls, and like, there's a lot where it gets like. He hits his tight ends. That's what he aims for. He's like, their receivers obviously they blew the top off last year, but they played a lot of games where they were beating teams that you were looking at teams going, well, they need to do this, they need to do that, and Lamar Jackson, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they torched us. It was frightening what they did to us. Our defense just didn't show, and we just couldn't get anything done. I mean, Earl Thomas was a big addition to theirs. Marcus Peters is a good addition to their defense. But
they've improved this year as well. Well, this offseason.
Yeah, but they've also lost. They've also lost their O-lineman. He retired, and he's a massive loss. I can't even pronounce his name right. It's Illuminata or something like
that.
Yeah. And he's obviously retired, and like, that is a big hole to fill. And I look at Lamar and I watch him do all these running and he's spinning and stuff like that. But there's a couple of players that ain't scared of taking and putting a cheap hit in. No. And when you slide down, if somebody wants to light you up, they're going to light you up, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Vontaze Burfict is the perfect example of somebody that doesn't give a couldn't care. Couldn't care less.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I remember watching the game when he hit Antonio Brown.
Oh, good night, Antonio. Mate, Antonio Brown ain't been right since. Like, all this trash music that he's been releasing is because of that hit from Burfict. Like,
mate, I'm telling you, like, that Aaron Hernandez documentary, like, I'm not getting into the his sexual orientation or anything like that, but CTE, like, Antonio Brown could be facing some early stages of that.
I think a lot of people are starting to think that, definitely.
He definitely needs help, Antonio Brown does. And like, I hope he gets back in the league. I think he's unbelievable. But they need to make sure he's right. Because that Vontaze Burfict hit is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was naughty.
He did it again last year, Vontaze Burfict did. He got banned after 4 games, that moron did.
So, on a different topic, slightly, obviously with tomorrow being the draft.
Yeah.
Carl, obviously you've got the 14th pick. Beach, you've got the 23rd pick. Where do you see yourselves going? Or who would you like to take with those picks? Who do you see getting?
Go on, Carl. Okay.
We've talked enough about my team.
Yeah, they're the big news, and to be honest, we could do have a lineman, and we need another pass rusher. Quarterback, obviously, it's always a gamble taking a quarterback in around mid-20s. I don't know how I feel about first round pick of a quarterback. There's a couple of good tight ends coming out as well that I look at and I think to myself, we need a tight end. We need a pass catching tight end that can.
Moss being one of them, I think.
Huh?
Moss being one of them.
Yes. Yeah. But again, Moss, I wouldn't take Moss early. Wouldn't take him first round. I'd probably be looking at one of the linebackers or a defensive end, if I'm honest. But I do like Jordan Love, and if Jordan Love is there in the second round, I'd pick him up in the second round. If he's in the, but if we have to go in the first round, I'd probably pull the trigger on him. But then again, I mean, if you never know in the draft, like, you never know, because like,
it's not the Patriot way to trade up, is it? Would you say?
We've never had to, though. That's what you got to think of. Like, we've been in a position of wealth before that. We've never picked a good wide receiver. We don't draft wide receivers well. I mean, I feel like N'Keal Harry was derailed by injuries, and it was difficult for him to come in at the situation it was because it was time to win, and he wasn't quite there. And I'm interested to see how he goes this year.
Yeah.
But we need to shore up our run game, so it's going to be as well.
So one player then, who would you pick? If you were picking, who would you pick?
It's difficult to know because you ain't gonna. I ain't gonna know. You don't know who's there. Like, I mean, like, nobody expected Danny Dimes to go at 6 last year. When the Giants took him, everyone was just like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, Max Kellerman, right, might have been the funniest segment of TV last year. Was Max Kellerman's reaction to them taking Danny was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because he was just like, "Are you kidding me?" We moved up to go and get him, and we did not need to do that. And like, the thing is, what people throw spanners in the works. I mean, I've seen talks that the Redskins are going to move out of 2 and not pick up Chase Young. Chase Young is the number one player in that draft. Joe Burrows is going 1 because Cincinnati are desperate, and he's just won the college championship. That's the difference. And like, I'm interested to see if anybody goes for Jalen Hurts as well. Speaking of the draft,
I reckon he'll go 3rd round. Someone.
Yeah, he's going to go and be a backup somewhere.
Carl?
But again, he's a winner.
We have to go. We have to go. I think are we 23rd?
No, that's Patriots.
Oh.
14th, I think.
We've got to go all out on an offensive tackle, mate, to keep Brady protected.
I'll tell you what, man.
Who do you reckon? Who would you prefer?
Probably. I think it's probably going to be Andrew Thomas from Georgia who's going to come in.
He's so good. There ain't no way he's there at 14. Well, I say that right, but the needs of the teams will probably. I mean, the only one with that would be the Lions.
Yeah.
But I can see them taking a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think first round it has to be offensive tackle. After that, probably shoring up the committee at running back, maybe. Maybe another defensive tackle. But obviously we brought Sue back, so it's probably not a priority right now. However, bringing one in to sit behind him and there for next year probably a good idea.
Where do you reckon Carolina will go, Liam?
Do you know what? Based on what I've heard today, apparently we're open to trading backwards. But prior to that, and if that don't happen,
there's value in that.
Huh?
There's good value in that though, in trading backwards.
But
you can pick up a couple of 2nd round picks that.
Yeah. I agree, but if we didn't trade back and we stayed with where we were, I would be happy with either Isaiah Simmons, what's his name, Derek Brown, probably one of those 2. Again, if they're still on the board, of course. I don't know if they will be or not. Or Jeff Okudah, one of those 3.
I seen a link with you and.
We've been heavily linked with Isaiah Simmons, plus there's Clemson as well, so there's links there.
Yeah.
I seen, was it Jerry Jeudy? I think I seen you linked with as well because you want to go wide receiver.
I don't think we'll go wide receiver personally. We've got too many holes on the D line and the O line.
Well, with Luke Kuechly retiring,
and across linebacker, we need that. With Isaiah Simmons, he can be plugged in. He can start straight away. He's kind of positionless in terms of he can play anywhere and he'll still do you a job. But at the same time, I think Shaq Thompson could come into his own now. Now he's got his own. He's got the chance to kind of flourish on his own. So therefore, I'd probably look at in a league that has Evans, Thomas, Julio. I'd look at cornerback, which is why if he's on the board, Jeff Okudah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because when you got those 3 receivers twice a year, now you need a shutdown corner, and Jeff Okudah is arguably the best cornerback coming out of the draft this year. So, but again, at the same time, I wouldn't be disappointed if we went for Derek Brown if he's still on the board. Because
go on, sorry, Liam.
I'm just saying we need help on D line and O line. So
If you've been staying up to watch the draft tomorrow.
Yeah, I probably will. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know about yourself, Liam, but my sleep's been shit, and from the sounds of it, Beavs has been even worse. So I'll probably be awake. Yeah.
No, I've managed to. It helps having the missus, so I'll go to sleep when I go to sleep. So
yeah.
I'll still stay up 100%.
Oh, I'll be up watching it. Oh well, for definite.
It'll be surreal, I think. Without having, I know it's not like other events where you need a live audience, but I think it will be a bit weird not it being in a space where there's hundreds of thousands of fans there.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be strange.
But this is they've had to continue this, and I still think it's excitement, regardless of whether we're on this situation or not.
I think it might be a good idea, to be fair.
If we see how it's all done, it'll be like this.
That's what I'm saying. I was just thinking we could potentially do like a live viewing of it together, because we can just share the screen on here and watch it potentially if you're interested.
I'm interested, mate. I'm always interested. I love my NFL, and I'm interested to see somebody's going to do something bizarre, and I feel like the Redskins are going to be the one.
Redskins are going to pick Chase Young, I bet you.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot today.
I reckon they'll go to her.
Nah. That would be so cool on Haskins. I mean, I wouldn't have picked Haskins last year anyway. I didn't get that move straight off the bat. But I'm interested to see what because they're the sort of franchise where you think to yourself, God, you lot are stupid.
But saying that though, they've now got Ron Rivera in place, and he ain't a moron.
No, he's not.
So,
and he builds on defense. That's why I think Chase Young is a certainty.
100%. I reckon if they were to do anything stupid, I'd like to think that Ron will be like, no, no.
Dan Snyder's a fucking moron.
But no, it should be interesting. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the draft, and hopefully there'll be no issues with the start of the season come September as well.
I mean, if anything, I could probably just see them moving it back. But I hope they don't.
If they do, and they move the Super Bowl back, then my flights are been an absolute poor gamble.
Oh. So are you going to tell the viewers what you've done, Carl?
So, yeah, basically, obviously I was very excited about Tom Brady.
And Gronk.
But yeah, when the news broke about Gronk yesterday, I straight away, before anyone said anything on the group, I had a very quick look at how much flights were to Tampa for the Super Bowl, thinking that they were going to be ridiculously expensive still. But no, they were £290 for a return, so I fucking booked it after asking my missus 5 times, just making sure she was okay with it. But
did you only book one for, or did you book her one as well?
No, she's. I can't talk about it on here, but
you're flying solo.
At the moment, obviously, I want you boys to come, and she's potentially going to come, but it depends on what happens in our personal life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Put you under pressure there,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I could see Charles about to run in the room and just batter you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
On camera.
100%.
Not that domestic abuse happens in your household, Carl.
No, but obviously we want to get there because it's Liam's birthday as well, and we all want to be there for the Super Bowl. So,
mate,
reunited in Florida together.
That'd be incredible.
And as bad as it sounds, what it was, it's 290 quid. Yeah, 290 quid, and
it'll be your 30th as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bro, you've twisted my arm on there. Don't worry about it.
But this is the thing, like,
if always on the Super Bowl mornings, as you know.
If everything went to shit, like, it'd be better to lose 290 quid than 750 quid or 800 quid down the line. So.
Oh, correct, mate. Yeah.
Not that I've got that to throw away, because I haven't. Not with Corona going on. It's all a bit crazy. But yeah, had I not done it last night, I wouldn't have done it. So,
mate, all I'm saying is it could be the greatest gamble of your life.
Well, yeah, it could. Either way, if it all goes tits up, it's 2 weeks in Florida for fucking 290 quid in it at the end of the day.
Yep.
You booked 2 weeks as well?
Yeah, but I didn't tell her that till this morning.
There might be some domestic abuse in the household.
You know what? She's been very supportive of it, which has been fucking brilliant because I was expecting her to tear my bollocks off. So, but I think that's because she wants to go. So,
yeah. That's partly because she's a Vikings fan. They always want to go somewhere other than Minnesota.
Yeah. But I think everything's been like I've really enjoyed this. I think we'll probably wrap this one up.
Yeah, man.
And get all this edited and put out tomorrow. There's not much editing I can do, but I'll put it out tomorrow and we'll go from there.
Yeah, mate. Good to speak to you, gentlemen.
And
always good to talk NFL.
Obviously, we'll get stuff sorted on the chat for an itinerary for the next one, but we need to start coming up with a name as well because, you know, when we're fucking massive broadcasters, we need a brand.
Yeah, mate, I'm keen.
But yeah, just before we go, Patriots, what's going on? You're going to win the division?
Oh, we're going to win the division and we'll be in the playoffs.
Liam?
We'll be the number 3 seed in the AFC.
Fair enough. Liam?
No, we'll finish 4th in the division.
I'm not so sure, mate, but...
Building season.
I know, yeah, but I don't know. I just got a feeling I don't think you're going to finish. I genuinely think you're going to do better than the Falcons, personally.
Nah, we'll see, but I've anything better than last place I'm happy with. Yeah. So, but Carl?
We bringing that Lombardi trophy home, motherfuckers.
So you're going to be the first team to ever play a Super Bowl in their home stadium?
Hell fucking yes.
It's always good to podcast with a joke as well, I suppose.
Not always me, Liam. I can see him going like 8-0 to start the season as well, and we're going to have to hear off Carly's. We're going unbeaten.
Mate, I do that at the start of the season. We have Jameis at the helm, so you definitely get in with Tom Brady.
But you ain't got just Brady, man. It's Gronk. I don't think you get Gronk.
No, mate, I'll get it. Trust me.
Everyone's going soon.
Like after this goes out, and like if people do watch it and realise that I've bought these tickets, like what people have to understand is we work hard and we put money away. I'm still not spending $5,000 on a Super Bowl ticket. So Mike Evans, Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, anyone, Tampa Bay, all their Twitters are getting blasted for the next 250 days until someone gives me a fucking ticket. Oh, that is it.
Right. No. Do they give you 2 tickets at least, Carl?
No, like however many people are out there, like we're getting that many tickets, I will hunt these motherfuckers down. Like, we'll hunt them down. And I will go up to Mike Evans and tell him and give him a sob story if I have to.
I want at least 6 tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, otherwise, fuck off to fucking Philadelphia.
Right. Right, gentlemen, pleasure as always.
Absolute pleasure, chaps.
Right, man. See you later.
Speak to you later.
Take it easy, boys.
Bye.
Later.